Evening, everybody. Noodle Thumb here. This evening I've got a challenge lock. This is from ravenrules99. Tentatively named Pick Breaker 1.0. A little bit ominous. He doesn't want us to gut this lock unless we're very sure we can get it back into the same configuration it comes in. Interesting thing here, you'll notice the front of the core is moving, but not the tail piece over here. The instructions on the lock say, and I quote, "I would consider the lock open when the tail piece is rotated 90 degrees in either direction." End quote. So this is a lock that's designed, I believe, with a split core. I think between pins 2 and 3. I'm not sure on that. I have opened this lock once and fiddled with it some more. And I was going to demonstrate the split core going in the other direction, but I've got a little bit of a false set on the front portion of the core, and I think that little false set is the thing that tells me it's time to actually pick. I will add that when I opened this lock, had my stepson over for dinner tonight, and my wife and I were sitting around chatting with my stepson, her son. We call him our son. Before he headed back home, and lo and behold, the lock popped open. And so I wasn't sure. I wasn't picking methodically. I was just kind of fiddling around. And there we go. You can see the tail piece rotating. And I guess just for completeness sake, I will loosen up my vise. And show that turned tail piece. So when I actually picked it out, I wasn't particularly paying attention to what I was doing. I was just fiddling around like you do when you're a lock picker and you have guests over, and you're just kind of chatting away with them. So now that I've done that and shown that I can idly get the first stage of this lock set, I'm going to show you that split core feature in the counterclockwise direction that I was showing. So pin 1, you push it way up. Pin 2, you give just barely a little nudge. So if you're being methodical, going front to back, there you go. And you get a good 45 degrees of a false set without ever turning that core. But I think here's the deal. If you hit pin 1 and push it way up to the sky, till you get that little, just that little bit. I'll do that again. I reset it. So I just dug under pin 1. There we go. That little set, and then I'm actually moving to a shorter, is the gem hook. The short gem hook, because I can just scoot right to the back of the lock without hitting all the other pins. I say that as I try and hit all the other pins. Well, see, I nudged pin 2. So I'm just going to do this short hook. Up to the sky. Get that little set. And then you want to go to the back of the lock. And start picking from there. Nope. See, even with that thick piece of that part of the shaft, I just nudge pin 2, and as soon as you nudge it, the core splits and you're toast. So, I'm gonna try this again. I think, there we go. Maybe resetting it fully, you have to do the front and the back. I don't know. Okay, try this again. Okay, pin 1. Okay, there's that little false set. It does not take much to nudge that second pin. Okay, so there's that first one. I'm gonna go from the bottom of the keyway, then try and pick these other pins instead of resting on this little lip on the boarding. I'm just gonna lever off the bottom of the keyway so I can more easily avoid pin 2. Nope. I hit it anyway. Okay. Again. Okay, so there's that one. Trying to go back to front now. Nope. I hit that second one. Dang. This is a truly devilish challenge lock here. I'm trying to be very methodical about how I go about it, but it is Tricky, tricky. Okay. Maybe since I'm going from the bottom, I'll use this deeper hook again. Okay, so I want deeper than that. Okay. It's different feeling the pins from the bottom. I got used to how they felt from the picking from that shelf, and I think I've caught my pick again. Okay. I thought I somehow bumped it again and was trying to turn the cores separately. If you do bump it, and I think this is why it's called pick breaker, if you bump that second pin and vigorously turn without withdrawing your pick, you'll, your two pieces of the core rotating, and I could see the pick getting broken that way. I'm really trying to be careful and avoid that second pin. I think it's the second pin. It is the second pin. I just don't know how I'm hitting it so much. Now I'm not sure if I must be on warding. It did not seem this hard when I did it more casually. But those, that separation in the core really does make it difficult to approach this lock methodically, at least for my not as skilled picking, because it's hard to tell exactly where I am in the lock. I'm going to go back to what worked the first time, this shorter hook, and just try and not slam around in there so much. So much for that idea. Okay, try again. This time I'm going to pick around the pins on the other side. Instead of rotating this way, I'm going to rotate that way. See if that does any better for me. I feel like I'm caught on it, yep. So I don't know how I maneuvered this pick around that last time. That time I got the second one first. Okay, one more time. That's no. My goodness. You gotta wiggle the back of it to reset everything. There we go. I think I somehow got pin 2 snagged to where every time I set pin 1, there we go, it snapped back. Every time I set pin 1, it would just flop over like that. Which is a real problem because setting pin 1 is how you start this log. Okay, come on. No. I think I'm getting tired. It is about 10 o'clock, and my usual bedtime is like 9 something. I think I have gotten pin 2 stuck. Maybe I should pick the other way. Let's give that a try. No. Okay, try moving it forward and backward. Actually, you know what I should do? No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say I should loosen up that grub screw and make sure that everything is kosher in there. But I'm not going to mess with grub screws tonight. Doing that when tired is a surefire way to screw up a lock. And I don't want to screw up this one. Seems like well, I have done something to it. Maybe I can just pick it from here. No, they all feel mushy. Well, I have done something to this, so I am going to call it good. Be happy that I picked it once, and bid you all good night.